Alright guys, I'm gonna give you a little bit of help on this problems that you have. This is 7.4D. It says in the bottom GPS. So some of you are in my class have already received this. Okay, so what they're asking for you to do is if 400 students were surveyed, how many more prefer hamburgers than chicken nuggets? Well, how many more prefer, okay, how many more prefer, how many more than, right away that tells me that is a subtraction problem. So subtraction because it says how many more than. So they're comparing. So that means I'm going to subtract because they're comparing. Okay, and what are they comparing? They're comparing hamburgers and chicken nuggets. So we really don't need to know how many people prefer pizza, but we do need to use this proportion. Okay, percent over 100, part over total. Okay, we need to figure out how many of those 400 people like chicken nuggets. Okay, so here I can say, well, the 100 doesn't change. So I know the 22 is a percent, so according to my equation, the percent goes on top of the 100. And then part over total, we know the total because the total is 400 students. What we don't know is how many students of those 400 prefer chicken nuggets. So put an X. And how do we solve? We cross multiply and divide. So we cross multiply and divide here, which will give me 100x equals, well, whatever that gives me. So 100x equals 400 times 22. Okay, so I'm going to put here 400 times 22, which gives me 0, 0, 8, 0 there, and then 2 more zeros, and then 8 again. It gives me 8,800. Okay, and so I'm going to put here 8,800. And what I do next, well, I divide by 100. Okay, and that'll tell me whatever that comes out. That'll tell you how many like chicken nuggets. Okay, on the other side, you want to know how many have hamburgers. You have to finish this. Well, hamburgers again. You're going to make an equation. 100 goes there. They give you a percent, so I'm going to put a 46% on top. Here, part over total. We know the total is 400 students. It tells you right there. If 400 students were surveyed, that means the total is 400. So 400, and we put an X. And then we just cross multiply. I get 100x equals, well, 400 times 46. 400 times 46. 2 zeros, 6 times 4 is 24. Another 0, and then 2 zeros again, and then 4 times 4 is 16. We get 0, 0, 4, 8, 1. That gives me 18,400. So 18,400. And what do we do next? We divide by whatever is next to the x or the variable. So we're going to divide by 100. Okay. That goes away. So you got to figure out this. Once you get this and once you get this, now you do the operation that you're supposed to do when you see how many more than. Okay? So we can finish that. Number 2 here, the rancher Rick buys feed. Feed is just food, okay, for his animals. Okay, tiene ganado, so he has, farm animals. Feed. So the table shows how much. Feed is just the food to feed these animals. He buys each group of animals and the total cost. So they want to know which feed sells at the highest unit rate. Okay, so unit rate, this means we need to have a 1. Okay, so for example, was it chicken $8.40 for 12 pounds? Well, how much does 1 pound cost? Okay, and I want to know how much 1 pound costs. The same thing, goat feed is what, $60 for 75 pounds? how much does 1 pound cost? That's what you need to figure out. Dog feed, again, $37.50 for 50 pounds. Well, how much does 1 pound cost? And the same thing for pig feed, okay? Pig feed with $63.20 for 80 pounds. How much does 1 pound cost? All you gotta do is use TIBO. Whichever one is the most expensive or the highest unit rate. Okay, the most expensive one, the highest number is your answer. So you can figure that one out. Number 3 there, Thomas bought 3 CDs for $14.50 each. Look at that word each. Cada uno, $14.50. A music CD for $9.99 and a computer game for $48. If the sales tax is 8.2%, what is the total cost? So you need to know that total cost equals price equals well, total cost, you need to first add up all the purchases. He had $14.50 each. That means he bought 3 of them. So $14.50 times 3. Okay. We need to figure that out. Well, that's 0. 5 times 3 is 15. 4 times 3 is 12. Plus 1 is 13. 3 times 1 is 3. Plus 1 is 4. So those costs, and then 2 numbers to the right of the decimal. 1, 2. So $43.50. So $43.50 for the 3 DVDs. And then he also bought a CD for $9.99, and he bought a computer game for $48. And see, 48 goes on this side, on the left side of the decimal. It's a whole number. And so this is we'll put a 0 in there in space, and that's 9. 5 plus 8 is 4. 5 plus 9 is 14. Carry the 1, and then 8, 11, 21, 4, 8, 9, 10. So you get 101. That's the total cost. Total cost, okay? The sales tax rate, that means that's the percent. You can set up one of these, okay? They give you a percent, so that percent there is gonna go here, 8.2. Total cost, we have it right there. Okay, total cost, and that's an X. And so, once you figure this out, whatever you get here, okay, whatever they get, you're gonna add it to this. Because this is the total cost is whatever your charges are, whatever the expenses. So the expenses, this, plus whatever you get here, add it together and you'll get your answer. Look at number 4. Okay. So he currently earns $4,225 per month or mes. She will receive a 17% increase in pay. Increase means plus, okay? That means you're gonna add. So again, we can set up one of these proportions was 100 here. There's a 17%, so we're gonna put a 17%. 4,225 per month. That's what she makes in a month. So that's the total that she makes. Okay, it's not part of the month, the total month. So, and then here you put an X. You solve it, and your answer, whatever you get here, you're gonna increase her monthly earnings. That means whatever you get here is her increase. Whatever she makes this per month, what you get is gonna be her increase in her monthly earnings. So she used to make this, but now she's gonna make this and whatever's here, and then you'll answer the question. Let's go to the next one. Okay, number 5 there. Maribel makes bread necklaces. She uses a ratio of 4:2 to 3. Okay, so we're using this 4:2 to 3. The colors are green, brown, and yellow in that order. So 4 greens, 2 browns, and 3 yellows. How many greens and yellow beads will Maribel use for the necklace containing a total of 117 beads? So look at the word total. So So what you need to compare is not color to color, but color to total. So the colors they want is green and yellow. So I'm going to compare, okay, green to total. I'm going to use the ratio given, the ratios given to me, 4, 2 to 3. So I'm going to say, okay, 4, 2, and 3. So then when there's 4 is the green, the first one, right? Because 4 goes to the first color given. So when there's 4 greens, how many total beads do we have? Well, this is your ratio. When there's 4 greens, there's 2 brown and 3 yellow. So that means there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 9 total. Okay? And so now I can set that up as a proportion with this total of 117 beads. Well, if this is the total, how many are green? If there's 117 total, how many of those are green? Also, they want to find out how many yellows. So we can compare yellow to total. Okay, again, we use the ratio given to us. There's green, brown, and yellow. So yellow's the third one. So when there's 3 yellows, there is 3, 4, 5, and 5 plus 4 is 9. So there's 9 total. Again, we use 117, we put it here. That's the total. So when there's 117 beads, how many are yellow? That's what I want to find out. How do we solve these? We cross multiply, and then we divide. So your next step is to cross multiply, and number 2 is to divide, and you'll get your answer. Okay. Number 6 there, Daniel began filling an empty swimming pool at 8 a.m. After 5 hours, the pool contained 230 gallons of water. Okay, so 230 gallons of water in 5 hours. Okay, that's the ratio given to you. 5 hours contain 230 gallons. If the water continues input at a constant rate, okay, keyword is constant rate. Okay, and then it says there how many more hours. So how many more hours are needed? How many more hours are needed to complete fill to 920 gallon a pool? So constant rate, this here means you want to have a unit rate. Okay, you want a unit rate, uni. Uni means 1. So then if 230 gallons in 5 hours, well, how much would it take in 1 hour? Okay, and that way you can figure out, okay, well then how many hours, how many hours are between 900, how many gallons are between 920 and 230, and you can figure out how many more hours you need. So first you need to find out how many in 1 hour. And then, okay, every single hour at the same thing, because it's a constant rate. So that means you're going by the same. So whatever it is, add the same thing each hour. Okay, and then try to figure that answer out. Number 7 there, the Boone family is buying a new house that was originally, look at that keyword, originally listed for this. They were able to purchase the house for this. What was the percent? Look at that, percent decrease. So we're going to use the expression change over original. Okay, so change over original. Okay, I know the original is 350,000. That's the original. What's the change? Well, how much of the price changed? They wanted this much, but they bought it for this much. So if you subtract 350,000 minus 295, you'll notice that there was a change. There was a difference of, what is it? I'm not very good at math, so I'm going to try this out. Okay. Oh, look at that. See, no mistake. 5. So there's a difference of 55,000. So that's what I'm going to put here. 55,000. And so what do you have to do? Well, cross out the zeros. Cross out zeros, and then use table. Okay. So I can cross out 1, 2, 3. And so I have 55 divided by 350. I can simplify it by what? Think about it. We use quarters all the time. Or 5s. How many nickels in 55 cents? How many nickels in $3.50? So think about that, okay? And then once you get the decimal, you move it 2 times to the right to get the percentage, and you'll get your answer. Okay. Number 8 there, we have the distance from Houston, Texas to Corpus Christi is 210 miles. If the ratio, look at the word keyword, ratio of the miles on inches is, okay, so look at the keyword, miles to inches. So the word 2, so we'll put miles to inches. Okay, so miles to inches is, and it tells you there, look, 2 colon 0.25. So 2, and over here 0.25. Okay, I just took the 0. So look at the colons at 2.25, not 2 to 0. Okay, 2 to 0.25. And so now I can set up that as a proportion. Well, in inches are across the bottom, and the keyword is how many inches. Miles across the top, and this 210. Well, I'm going to put it where miles goes. X again. Cross multiply, and then divide. Now just remember, these problems can be solved a little differently. I just use proportions because we are kind of weak in that, and we need to kind of strengthen that concept to you guys. So that's the reason I use proportions. Okay. Number 9 there. A jewelry store paid $75 for a necklace at wholesale cost. Okay. The store will sell the necklace for $250. What is the percent markup? This is another word for what is the percent increase. Okay, it would have said markdown, it would have been decrease. So percent markup. So percent increase, so I know it's change over original. So think there, change over original. Okay, so original, what was the price? It said the store paid $75 for a necklace. That's the original price, $75. But they resold it. They want to sell it for $250. They sold it for $250. How much profit did they make? What was the difference in the prices? Okay, so all you got to do is the change, $250 minus $75. Okay, that's all you got to do. Subtract them. You put that whatever you get here, you put it here. So you put it there, and then you use T-bow to find the decimal, and then you move it 2 times to the right. Okay, so use T-bow, get this answer, put it there, use T-bow, and then move the decimal 2 times, and you get the answer. Okay, number 10 there, Trey, Kirk, Billy, and Alfred were assigned a group report to summarize in science project. Okay, so now the group report has a mandatory 20-page length. So 20 pages is 100%. Okay, 100% of the assignment. Trey has done 35%. So Trey, 20 pages, he's done of the summary. And how much is the summary? Well, the summary is 20 pages. So I can put here 35% times 20. Okay. Of course, you got to convert this to a decimal. 0.35 times 20. That'll tell you how many pages Trey wrote. Did. 2/5. 2/5 convert that to a decimal, and all of you should know that that's 0.40. So 20 times 0.4 or 0.40, and that'll tell you how many Kirk did. Billy did 0.15, so 20 times 0.15. Okay, and then how many pages will remain for Alfred? Well, so whatever they do, whatever you have left, yes, ma'am. Whatever you do, whatever you have left, that's what Alfred does. All right, good luck. Yes, ma'am.
I came to tutorial with you today.
Yes, she did. Yes. And so real quick, we're gonna find out who the best team is. Like if it's well, you see how this thing is a little crooked? I think it meant to go there. All right. So adios. Bye bye.